Remaking a game from the ground up can be an exciting thing for big boy companies and fans alike. The only real downside to a complete overhaul of a game loved by all is, will it be enough? And is it worth $60? The Resident Evil series is notorious for remaking their past titles, and they most definitely deliver. Crash Bandicoot may look pretty, but it's still a terrible game. But how can you turn a basic-ass Game Boy game into a full-fledged Nintendo Switch title? Is it possible, and is it worth the time and money? I mean, according to everybody else, you can beat the game in about 5 hours, so why would you pay $60 for this? Well, I played Legend of Zelda's Link Awakening, front and back, and I enjoyed the hell out of it, so let's get into it. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening released all the way back in 1993 and is the fourth game in the Legend of Zelda series, and it takes place in this complicated ass timeline where Link loses. It was supposed to begin as a simple port of Link to the Past for the GBA, but quickly turned into a brand new adventure and, unlike others, would feature cameos from other series like Kirby or Mario, unofficially of course. And honestly, it was received very well by everyone and is highly praised today. Well, in February during a Nintendo Direct, we were given a trailer for a remake of the GBA title. It honestly looked really promising at the time, and finishing it up, it was such a treat. I very much enjoyed my time playing this game, but there were some things that I had a problem with. Link ends up in another predicament as always, and during a massive storm capsizes and floats onto Koholint Island. Marin, who resides on the island with many others, saves Link from getting too tan and brings him home. And that's where the game essentially kicks off. Link's goal, according to this talking owl, is to gather all the instruments and awaken the Windfish in efforts to get Link off this island. As you progress the story and travel around, the supporting cast of characters is abundant and unique in their own way. I enjoyed every encounter with someone new, and there was honestly not a character I didn't like in this game. Since this isn't a very in-depth and complicated story-driven title like many of the other Zelda games, it was still very interesting. It's exciting, adventurous, and all-round heartwarming when it needs to be. This game is adorable, dog. The biggest thing to catch my eye when this game was announced was the jaw-dropping art style they chose. Everything is so polished and smooth, the environments and characters burst with colors, and the variety of scenery is delightful. Just because I'm an adult doesn't mean I can't enjoy cute things every now and then, and this game is a perfect example of that. The design of enemies and bosses are also very appealing to look at. I kind of felt bad murdering them. This all ties together with the ear-soothing music in the overworld, dungeons, and character interactions. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening went full steam ahead for a game filled to the brim with an adorable aesthetic. You kind of need it after playing all the gritty and dark games out there. If you've played A Link to the Past or any Zelda game for that matter, you know how the combat is going to work. You've got your sword and shield, and 2 nice slots for items. For some reason you don't know, you hack and slash a couple times until you kill things. When it comes to the items you acquire to complete challenges and reach secret sections, every dungeon you go through rewards you with a new ability to your arsenal. For example, a feather to jump over gaps, a hook shot to grapple onto things, or even some nice Pegasus boots to charge into enemies. There's no complicated combat style, skill tree, or loot. It's a simple Zelda game, and it's fine the way it is. Bosses, as said before, are cute as hell, but also very fun to go against. I never felt as a boss was too similar to another, and they all require a bit of thinking to efficiently take them down. Yet even as a band of monsters playing for the other team, I was simply impressed at their design and playstyle. Along with the main story and dungeons to go through as Link, there is plenty of variety when it comes to what you can do on the side. With a whole new dungeon creator added to the Switch version, seashells to collect for items, mini games in the main village, and a secret dungeon to find. The dungeon creator at first lacks in what you can do, but as you complete dungeons you unlock new tile sets to add to your collection. Dompe creates challenges in the dungeon maker for you to do that can grab you some seashells, hearts, and even new tile sets. Yet I will admit it was honestly a little bland and boring after the first hour. It's mainly just a tiny plop your preset dungeon together and run through it. Seashells can be found in the world and turned into the Seashell Mansion to net you the Koholint Sword, which is essentially the master sword for this game. There's a cute little fishing game to gain some heart pieces, stealing from the shopkeeper of course, and a very irritating claw game. In all honesty, I think I suck at the timing in these types of mini games, but it was very irritating for me. but it's probably just a personal thing. Searching every nook and cranny will fill up hours of gameplay, yet the main star of this game is the main dungeons and story. Who would have thought this game wasn't perfect? Oh no. There are some minor frame issues when it comes to the actual game. I guess it's not minor if I'm talking about it, but, you know, visually seeing frame drops is not fun. It didn't ruin my experience, but it is quite noticeable flaw to this game. After a while, you kind of just get used to it, which, I mean, I guess you shouldn't have to get used to it, but yeah, it's annoying. So yeah, that's bad. When it comes to how much meat this game has, it relies heavily on its main story and dungeons. And as a disclaimer, I am not expecting a Breath of the Wild or anything of that caliber, yet the ability to find these secret dungeons and using the dungeon maker are lacking. There's one secret dungeon, which of course is the color dungeon, or that I know of, and I'm just bad at the game, but I felt like there could have been a better opportunity to add more. The map is quite expansive and there's plenty of room to do so. The dungeon maker, which is a cool concept, I really like it, but there wasn't a lot of flexibility when it came to what you can do, and the challenges just get tedious after a while. I also hate the blurry edges of the screen. I don't like it whatsoever, but I don't know, maybe it was an aesthetic choice, I guess. But I didn't enjoy the blurry edges around the screen. It kind of bothered me and made the frame drops more noticeable. All in all, I think the game is fantastic. I had such a great time going through the story and going through the different dungeons. It was a fun experience for the 20 hours that I spent playing it. Then again, most of that 20 hours went to like searching for the seashells and doing the mini games and kind of dredging through the dungeon maker challenges. But the main story has been extended a lot, not too much. It's still probably a 5-6 hour game, especially if you know what you're doing and you played the GBA title or even Link's Awakening DX. Do I recommend that everyone spend $60 on it? It's kind of a gray area. We go over it in the podcast of if you should spend $60 on a game that has been remade and is super short to play. I would say for first time players who don't know what they're doing and are just gonna fully experience the game, I think it's perfect for them for the price. It's completely remastered and the graphics are just simply jaw-dropping. I honestly think it's one of the games you should have on your Nintendo Switch, and there is plenty to do. When it comes to people who've already played Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, I think it's the same game, man. Like, what are you expecting them to do? The Dungeon Maker was a nice addition, but it's not enough. But I would just like to say shout out to Gamefly, so I didn't have to spend $60. But if I was given the choice to spend $60, I think I still would, even because I myself have not experienced the original Link's Awakening. The cameos are fun. The support characters are super enjoyable. I love the different environments that you go through and the enemies and all of the collectibles, because I am a collectible person. I really enjoyed this game. I honestly would give this game a 9 out of 10 because I felt like I had a great experience. I felt like, for me, the price was right if I were to spend $60, let me just say that. It just felt like a full game to me, and it was amazing, and I loved it. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. I would definitely recommend playing it. If you're not comfortable with the $60 mark this game has, then just, rent it or something like I did. Mainly because there's so many games out there, I can't buy every single game, but I loved it. And I'm super excited to see what they do with remasters or remakes in the future, especially with GBA games. Like, I know this is stupid to say, and we have Fire Emblem, but I would love to see an Advance Wars. I would love to see a remaster of that on the Nintendo Switch. I think it's a cool concept, and I really love this game. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. So tell me what you guys think about this review. Did you agree with some of the things I said? Do you not agree? Do you think it's worth $60, even though it is a remaster of a game that can take literally 5 hours to beat? And thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure to like and subscribe for more reviews and videos over here on EzXp. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.